The time starts now. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Neerav Merchant. I'm the PI for CyVerse and longtime user of iRODS or even SRB before. So Mike Conway asked me, hey, what are the new things you do? And then turned out a lot of people here asked, like, what is parts of CyVerse? So I figured I'll show you something, but talk about the new things that happened since the last UGM. So first here is how our users see iRODS, which is getting into our discovery environment. I'm just going to log in. Hopefully everything works as planned. So this is how it looks. They can see what they're using, but data and compute are together. The main components in our system are data, apps, and analysis. The part that I want to talk to you about is for data, the new things that we've added is this bag or basket. Our users really wanted an easy way to go shopping in iRODS, make a list of things, and then give it to a program to process that data. So now our users can come to data. Here you can see I have a lot of data. I can go in here and maybe select a folder and say, add that to something. So where is my, let me go in, oh, I haven't gone into the folder, sorry. I can go in here and say, let's pick this and say add to bag, go somewhere else. If there's some data somewhere else, I'll add that to a bag. And then my bag shows me what I have. I can go to the bag, decide if I want to share it with someone, who I can share it with. If I want to download it, it's going to combine everything, preserve the paths, and make it easy. And so that's sort of one thing I wanted to show you guys. Then the other part is, those of you who have not seen our platform, so if you just want to run any container, if you have data and you want to run it, I want a Cloud Shell, I can click on this, and it's actually going to run a Docker container with everything in it, pull in my iRODS data, and then I can do things on it using whatever I want. I can install Conda and everything else is installed, but you can also bring in, so here it is. And if I go here and do ls and go home and go into I have lots of data. So the first time it takes a second, but once it's done, it's going to cache. I have literally thousands of files. So this is getting Docker and iRODS to talk. So the Kubernetes drivers handle that for us. And so now we can see it becomes really easy and I can use whatever I want. So I'm going to see my data the way I need to. How many more minutes do I have?
You have 5 more minutes. Well, 4 more minutes.
Okay. So the other thing I wanted to show you, so you guys got an idea of that. And obviously all the standard things that you're used to, like, Jupyter notebooks or, let me show you a version where you can manage exactly the version of your Jupyter notebook. So if I go to apps and I choose, let's say, Jupyter notebook data science, and now when I decide to run it, I know. If I hit next, here I can see the version and I can pick the exact version. So it's going to get exactly that Docker container and reproduce everything for me. But here, depending on what access I've been given, I can control the number of CPUs, RAM, and then if you have GPU access given by us, you can also decide the GPU. But you guys get the picture. If I just do next, and then I say launch, it's going to set up Jupyter Lab Data Science for me, and then I can just go here and work with it. The other part while it's doing its thing, and you guys know how all of that looks, and you can see all those containers inside of Jupyter also. Let me just show you something else, which is fun. You guys get the picture, so you see it here. Now let me close this. Why can I not move? I think go away here. So now the part that I would like to show you is data watch. This is where a regular user, once permitted, can just on the command line say that if new files arrive here, please send me a message, and it can be a webhook or an email, and that webhook can be further forward to whatever they want. So this is how our users keep track of new data. So if you're a lab waiting for your collaborators to drop data, and if you have the right permissions, it handles it. There's the GitLab page, go look at it. The last thing I want to show you is I decided to see where the data from UNC Chapel Hill Herbarium goes. You guys can take a wild guess. It goes to CyVerse. And then if you go click on it, and these are how the images that are scanned show up. And each herbarium says, I want one image that's full size, one where it is half size, one that's a thumbnail. And so everybody is having large footprints, and that's crazy. So what we did is we built a image service that's a microservice, runs in a Kubernetes environment. You give it a link to the content in iRODS, and then you can say, I want it with a width of 400, and it's already cached, and it just sends it. So now all the groups just use the URL, and all of this is again coming from an open source project, which is right here called Imaginary. So anyway, those are the fun things we've done with iRODS last year.
All right.
How many
Time's
minutes did I
up.
save?
Hmm?
How many minutes did I save?
Oh, so you actually got a little bit more minutes.
I'll like move it over to the next one.